Hello, scumbags. I am not Andrew Fantasia, but this is Flying Casual. And yeah, I'm Rob McDonald because Andrew is being a little bit of a wuss here, and he doesn't want to read anything about The Last Jedi. But I do have my guest who is deciding to help me out here and to bring this content to you, the fans, about the reactions to The Last Jedi so far. Josh, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really well. I'm glad that we're not battling at the moment. If you haven't seen the Duel
Not
of the
at the moment.
Fates, check it out. It was a very entertaining contest. We won't spoil it for you. I was disappointed in the outcome, though. But Andrew Fantasia, where you at, dog? Where you at? You're too afraid? You can't handle these reviews? Actually, I'm a little bit afraid too, to be honest with you. But we're doing this for you guys, so it'll be all right. It'll be worth it.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I myself, I'm hesitant towards like reading a lot of stuff too. So that's why in these reactions, we're just gonna like read you like little headlines and small little stuff as to
Yes.
like little parts of what people seem to think about this movie. So as of this moment, as of this recording, it is after 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is when the embargo lifted. And as of this moment on Rotten Tomatoes, hang on one second as I put it on up here. On Rotten Tomatoes, we are sitting right now with The Last Jedi at a 96% with 102 reviews so far. So
I
pretty
mean,
good reaction so far.
yeah, I'm not good at math, but that seems pretty good. That
That
seems
is
all
pretty
right.
good.
And also, let's call out James because he wouldn't do this show with us either. He was like really, really afraid. And yeah, no, at some point I'll get past it. But we're flying casual here, so
And Brock had to work.
oh yeah, Brock always working. If you're watching this, Brock, what's up with all the work?
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but regardless, yeah, that's amazing score so far, and I believe I'm going to try to put it up. Do you happen to know what Force Awakens score was? I believe it was definitely less than that.
I think it was less than that as well, but it was pretty high. It was in the
Yeah,
90s, I believe, but I want to say 92 for some reason, but
really close, 93%. Yeah, that's what we're sitting
93.
at, which is
Okay.
pretty darn good as well. So yeah, regardless, it's being very highly praised so far. So I'm gonna scroll down right here, and I'll start off with one of these awesome reviews here. Who should we start with here? Oh, and we were just talking about it. The first one that came up on my list is actually a negative review, and
Oh
is from
no.
Miss Kate Taylor from the Globe and Mail, and she just likes to say, "But gradually, Johnson's many additions become too much of a good thing, and The Last Jedi grows crowded, busy, and long." Hmm. Uh,
This long.
um, that might be too long for some of these five-year olds type
Yeah.
of
I think we gotta check her
runtime.
Instagram because I think she's a Trekkie. I think that's what this is about. She's a Trekkie and she can't handle it. The fact that all these creatures and stuff are in there, I mean, it is a little bit concerning. I heard somewhere that there are more new creatures in this film than which really when you think about it probably isn't too hard. But man, he just went into crazy town with this sort of stuff. I mean, we saw the Volplexes, we've seen the Porgs. There are those horse-like creatures that are on Canto Bight, and new droids. BB9E looks to be a funny new addition.
Mhm.
So there's going to be a lot of stuff like that. I'm sure that we'll touch on this a little bit, but the only thing that really concerns me is the humor. Um, I think I'll be having such a good time in the theater that it won't bother me at all. But it might be something that like maybe a couple viewings down the line, I'm like, I just don't like the cringiness, right? If there's cringy stuff in there, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, and just the fact that we watch these trailers and it looks so serious and so dark and whatnot, right? And there's very few fun moments in these trailers and these TV spots. It's almost a wonder as to how they're going to balance the comedy and the darkness in
Right,
this as
sure.
well, to
That's a
a
good
certain
question.
extent. Like, yeah, that was the one thing that I guess because the fact that The Force Awakens was really more of a light movie than it was a dark movie. This
Right.
one might be flipping it on the other side, so we'll see how that'll be handled. But again, we're 96%. That's only one negative review. I'm looking right now, literally a whole crap of really good ones. So, if I were to go to another one, we would go to Bob Strauss here of the Los Angeles Daily News, and it says My favorite among the new cast members is Laura Dern as Leela
Mm,
Vice Admiral Amelin Holdo. Wow, that's a mouthful. A poker
yeah.
player of near Vulcan inscrutability. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's go with that word.
She called it. That guy's a Trekkie too. He's bringing up Vulcans and stuff. Get out of my face with that. I mean, thank you
You
for the
might be
good
onto
review.
something here.
I'm telling you, man, these Trekkie fans, man, they're sneaky. That's like I was watching, I think the Collider reaction thing, and
Mhm.
one of the things that Scott Mantz said was that he actually sort of was negative on it, said it was a little too funny, and said that Rogue One is way better than it and all that.
Oh yeah,
But Scott Mantz is a Trekkie. He's a Trekkie. You know what I mean? He leans more on the science fiction side as opposed to the fantasy side of things. And I think most Star Wars fans admit and love the fact that it's fantasy more than anything. So if the movie sort of focuses more on mythology and Force kind of stuff, I can see how some people would have a problem with it. But
yeah, no, absolutely. Well, that one was a positive review though, at least. So we had a Trekkie that did like this movie, so
true,
that's a
true.
good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you got any reactions over there that you'd like to read over there, Josh?
I don't even have a web browser pulled up.
Okay.
To be honest with you, like I just, I'd rather just react to what
No,
you say,
absolutely.
so that if you cross the line, I can blame it on you and like throw stuff at the screen. So that'd
That's
be
fair. So here on the next one I got here is Scott Chitwood of comingsoon.net. And this one he writes, The Last Jedi is a very satisfying entry into the Star Wars saga with some fantastic jaw-dropping moments. So
Mm.
there you go. That was
I mean, I'm into that. I mean, that sounds good. Jaw-dropping moments are never bad. Yeah, I mean, that seems like a pretty safe, little review. Doesn't give too much away, so that's kind of cool.
no, yeah, absolutely. One of the things I've been seeing from the Twitter reactions is that this movie has so many twists and turns. Apparently, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. So that's going to be a really interesting part of it. Is
I wouldn't see right now, but if it
yeah,
happens, I will. My mind will just like it will blow my mind if they
wow.
actually do what I think they might do in this movie.
Well, yeah, it'll be really interesting, and just seeing in general, like the fact that they're saying there's so many things that you won't see coming apparently in this movie will be
Right.
very interesting. So, yeah, if I'm going to go to another one here, we got Alonso Duralde from The Wrap, and he says falls right behind Empire Strikes Back and maybe the original film in providing the thrills and the heartbreak, the heroism and villainy, and the romance and the betrayal that makes these films such a treat. So.
Yeah, man, I'm digging that. Falls right behind Empire. I mean, that's high praise. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd say
obviously,
so, yeah.
that's sort of the bar. So.
I mean, he never said it, but I guess what he's more or less saying is that it's probably the best film so far that Disney has put out.
Yeah, that's essentially what he's saying, and I think that even before we read these reactions, that was sort of the vibe we were getting
Mm.
from just what Disney was. I mean, they gave the guy a whole new trilogy, right? You know what I mean? So like, you gotta assume that they were happy with it. It's good that the press and everything they were happy with it as well, which is sort of what we're hearing here. But yeah, I mean that's high praise for sure.
Right. And here we got one that we would really know as a critic from Eber and Roper. We got Richard Roper's review from the Chicago Sun-Times. And he says, still, this is no mere placeholder of a story. Huge, important things happen to characters, secondary and primary, surprises big and small bound. And he actually put a score here. He's got 3.5 out of 4. So,
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. I mean, this is a guy that's been watching movies for longer than I've been alive. You know what I mean? So it's not just a placeholder. You know what I mean? Like once again, like, these are ideas that we had when we even knew Ryan Johnson was doing the gig, writing and directing, the guy that did Looper, the guy that did Brick. I mean, this is a visionary sort of filmmaker guy. He's old school in the way that he writes and directs. So
mhm.
yeah, man, for Roper to say that's pretty cool, man. I'm getting excited. I'm getting a little excited.
Yeah, there's a lot to get excited about. I'm starting to get hesitant to read more of these, is because
I know,
I
I
don't want
know.
to I don't want to know too much. But luckily, I haven't seen anything that really turns me yet. So yeah, if I'm gonna go to another one here, we got Peter Bradshaw, excuse me, of the Guardian, and he says The Last Jedi gives you an explosive sugar rush of spectacle. It's a film that
Mm,
buzzes with belief in itself and its own mythic universe. a euphoric certainty that I think no other movie franchise has. And that's just a part of the magic of Star Wars
Yes, it
altogether.
is.
It's like a lot of people are trying to recreate it and have trying to recreate it. Like, uh, even MCU's version of Star Wars Guardians of the Galaxy was trying to recreate some of this magic of Star
Yep.
Wars. And we got Valerian from this year that was just not really trying to recreate the magic of Star Wars, but again, just embracing the sci-fi elements and fantasy elements of Star Wars. So
Yeah, no, it's awesome to. I love how he says that it's got like sort of confidence in itself and that sugar coat of. I mean, like that's sort of what when you see the space battles and everything, and it's so bombastic and just looks so like such a ride, man. I feel like like Ryan just strikes me as the kind of guy that was like, holy crap, I get to make Star Wars. And he even says in some of the behind the scenes stuff that like he'll have holy crap moments followed by like a lot of hard work and stuff like that. But I can just imagine him being like, I'm gonna do everything that I love about Star Wars. I'm throwing into this movie, like literally everything. And what I keep thinking about is that shot of Poe's X-wing when it like does that 180 and like,
and he's
man,
like yelling.
Yeah, like
stuff,
just more of that kind of stuff because we didn't get a true space battle in The Force Awakens, you know what I mean? The battles were great on Starkiller and Maz's Takodana Palace, but honestly, there was a little bit of that lacking, and I think we might get multiple space battles, big ones in this movie. Yeah, so man, that's cool. What sugar rush of spectacle?
Yeah,
these critics. That's why they get paid to do that. That's a cool way to say it. Sugar.
I swear, like they just write a sentence and then they just take a couple words and put that into a thesaurus and then
they might. Hey, look at Mad Libs or something like that. They got a Mad Libs of cool reviews that they pull out for the good movies.
No, yeah, totally. And yeah, in Force Awakens, like the only thing I even was close to a space battle was when they were escaping on the TIE fighter from the finalizer, I believe the ship is, from getting it towards the movie with Finn and Poe. That's the only thing. And that wasn't a battle really at all. It was an escape. That's really all it was.
Yeah. Yep. No, I would agree with that. So hopefully we get much more of that, which is cool.
And I think we definitely will.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Collider earlier. This is Matt Goldberg from Collider, and he just very plainly says it. I lost count of the jaw-dropping moments The Last Jedi presents, and it's a movie I can't wait to revisit.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I heard somebody else say on Twitter that it has so many shots that are like that. Those shots in a movie that you're just like in awe of. And you're like, wow, that's like gorgeous. You know what I mean? Like I think of like Tarantino a lot, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, a lot of movies that just have these iconic shots that are all throughout. And I heard that this movie has just so many of those, man. So jaw-dropping moments, jaw-dropping visuals. I'm down. Is it Thursday yet?
I know. I mean, I just look at my clock right now, seeing how close it's getting to this premiere. So yeah, I'll just do a couple more of these in general. More have come in now. I think we're on Rotten Tomatoes now. We are at, hang on as I refresh. Oh, we're at 93% now. So 116 reviews counted so far. So 93% on Rotten Tomatoes for The Last Jedi.
Okay, so it's sort of dipped.
Yeah, it's dipped a little bit. I guess a few more of the negative reviews have come in. But you know what? We started off with the negative review. You're not going to get any more of that. This is Star Wars. We love Star Wars. I'm just going to stick to these positive reviews here. So this one seems a little bit more spoilery, so I'm not going to talk about that. It's more running through the entire story, which is kind of weird. I hope they take that down.
Take that review down, man. It's good.
Yeah. All right, let's just go with this simple one. This is from RogerEbert.com's website. It's Matt Zoller Sites. I hope I got that right. Everything a fan could want from a Star Wars film and then some.
Hey, look, I mean, come on. That's what we are. We're fans. So everything we could want and more. I mean, let's do this thing. You know what I mean? Ignite the Green. Is there an Ignite the Green? Has anybody talked about Ignite the Green? Wait, don't tell me I don't want to know.
Maybe I'll do a Control F and then just put green or something like that and see.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool that we were just talking about it. That person that reviewer just seems like he's a fan in general. The fact that he didn't go into thesaurus. He didn't want to switch one of these words to something that we have to look up afterwards or to understand what he's saying. No, this person just said it from the heart in terms of he loves Star Wars, and that this movie really brings it. And that's the coolest part about it, I think,
Yeah,
so
man.
far that we've heard.
I dig it.
So yeah, just a couple more of these. We'll do Nigel Andrews of the Financial Times. He says, "After this, I never thought I'd say it. I'm up for more. Bring on the next Star Wars." So from that review, it kind of seems like maybe this person might not have been a fan of Force Awakens or
Right.
maybe
Yeah, that
Rogue
kind of
One.
does seem that way. Yeah.
And then this movie might have turned him. So that's maybe the most exciting part about it.
That's a super significant review. You know what I mean? Like, if it is indeed the case that he was sort of one of the haters, right? One of these Lucasfilm haters, the Disney haters, and he has turned. Essentially, that's exactly why you bring a guy like Rian Johnson on, right? You're like, okay, look, we understand we had to sort of reboot. Rogue One was kind of for the older fans, you know what I mean?
Right.
We realized that without new vision, without new kind of cutting edge stuff, we're gonna lose a lot of people. And you bring in a guy that did Looper, you know what I mean? Like, you bring in the guy that did Looper to do your Star Wars movie. That's a breath of fresh air. So if it really did turn that guy, imagine what that's gonna mean for us. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just one of the things I've been reading recently where it's just like this movie is not like apparently any Star Wars movie we've seen before, which is
Right.
incredibly refreshing considering like there was the rumors about the Death Star, there being another Death Star in this movie, and the
Yep.
fact that this might be again a mirror of Empire Strikes Back, similar to the way Force Awakens might have been a mirror of New Hope, but apparently to some of these reactions, it doesn't seem to be the case.
Dude, I think there's I think they're gonna do something so different. And remember how Hamill was talking about the Last Samurai?
Mhm.
I think there's gonna be something that happens to the movie that's very Last Samurai, or Seven Samurai rather, which
Oh,
is gonna
some
be
okay.
yeah, which is gonna be really really crazy. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I that just hearing Hamill say something like that, I'm worried about, him just having this type of samurai last stand moment where he's just fighting off all these people, and so many times in samurai movies, just it's a samurai take out an entire battalion of people, and then he doesn't make it out at the beginning. So
Dude, I've heard
I'm
that.
hoping that's not the
Right.
case. I don't want
I
to see this be the end for Luke
I
Skywalker.
kind of feel like they're gonna treat Luke. I kind of feel like Luke is a Force god. I feel like they're going that way, bro. Like, I feel like the what they're hiding is more than just him using his green saber.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like they're hiding the fact that, like, no, he's a force of nature. And what does that mean? You know?
I really hope that's the case because I do not want to see the end of Luke, not yet, so
No,
whatsoever. So,
no, he's
but
gotta.
yeah, as we were just talking about it, I looked up just one of these reactions here from Christian Harloff, and he said,
Yeah.
"I need to see it again. This is a ballsy, very different Star Wars movie." So again,
What?
just
Christian.
just being very, very much in that vein, saying that this is not like a lot of Star Wars movies, that we're going to see something different. That's pretty awesome. Just this is a very ballsy, very different Star Wars film. So I can't wait to
Dude,
I can't
yeah,
wait to
that's
see
super
something
cool. I mean, we
completely
all
different.
know Christian. I mean, like,
Yeah.
that is awesome to hear him say that. I need to see. What did he say again? I need to see it again. This is a ballsy and different Star Wars.
Yes, this is a very ballsy and different Star Wars movie. So
I like that. I like that. That kind of echoes something that James and I have been talking about, where we're like, we might be really satisfied with it, but not sure how much we like it, if that makes sense. Like, if they do certain things that are like, that's not my Star Wars, but it like sort of advances the lore, then that's good. Like, you can have a satisfying ending that's not a happy ending, so to speak.
yeah, and just because of the differentness of it, could be one of these movies where you just got to watch it multiple times. It's gonna grow on you and make you see everything a different way, especially if there's all these turns and possible twists and turns and things that you won't see coming in this movie. Like maybe just watching this movie several times over and over again will just bring you plenty of repeat viewing and also make people love this movie more and more because again the fact that it's ballsy could make some people get turned off and be like, yeah, that's not my Star Wars, like you just said.
Right, right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do one more here, and then I got one more reaction afterwards. But
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we got Rob Hunter here of the Film School Rejects, and he says it splits its attentions between two threads, but only half delivers spectacularly with heart, thrills, and some truly beautiful story beats, while the other limps through space. Wow, this was a positive review, but that sounds like a negative review.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
I
kind of
see what
weird.
he's saying. Yeah, I see what he's saying though.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. Apparently, it was on John Campia's review, I believe. He said something along the lines that he said that he was not a fan of Finn's storyline in here. Like that's the most I'll do. I'll say, but he said himself that he is not a fan of the Finn storyline here. So maybe that's what he's kind of mentioning. But
I mean, like we're talking like the Jedi stuff with Luke, Rey, and Kylo. And then we're talking about the resistance. It's safe to say that according to that review, that the guy feels as though one of them is like super solid and the other one sort of isn't. And you give me the Jedi one. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't even be mad about that.
Everything is so like it's okay, it's not bad, it's enjoyable. Like that still brings it up to like, that averages out to a pretty damn good movie regardless.
Yeah, certainly.
So this last reaction that I did here was one that I actually asked to somebody and I got a response.
Oh, cool.
So, and this one will make James smile, and it's kind of going to relieve us, I think, from our pressure, because this question is about the Porgs. So I asked John Campia, how are the Porgs? Are they the new Jar Jar? And Campia responded, he said, the Porgs could have gotten really ridiculous really fast, but they're adorable. They added to the movie. Everybody that I was at that screening with loved the Porgs. So
yeah,
there you go. It's interesting there. Like, I was joking before that the last thing I want to see in this movie is just see a gang of Porgs just jump onto a stormtrooper and just take him out or something like that, or jump onto Phasma and just save Finn or something like that. Like that's not something I want to see. So just hearing this reaction that the Porgs are apparently very well received in this film is pretty cool.
Yep, that was a danger for sure. Them being a little too ridiculous. That's good. I also found it too, before we wrap, I found it interesting that the one dude said that Holdo was his favorite character. We've seen nothing from Holdo. So that's interesting. It'll be cool to see her. I'm very interested in DJ still. I really want to know what's going on with that and the Canto Bight plot. But it's all, the movie's called The Last Jedi. It's all about Luke Skywalker. We got to know what the hell's going on with Luke. How does Rey fit into this? How does Kylo fit into this? How are they going to come together and formulate a super couple? Reylo is a thing. By the way, shameless plug. It's going to be past this by the time this video comes out. But go check out on my channel or Facebook group, The Last Jedi live streams. It's the last episode, which will be airing Wednesday before the movie comes out. So it'll probably be out by the time you see this. Check it out. James and I are talking all things Reylo. So whether you're a big-time Reylo hater or you're a big-time Reylo supporter, come watch that live stream, hang out with us, and get all the info. So you're prepared for when it happens in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, Reylo's a big thing, and I'm going to keep my mind open towards it. I kind of want them to be more rivals, but I'm looking forward to seeing whatever Rian Johnson has to show us in this movie, because he's a great director, and everything that we're seeing so far seems to be extremely positive about this movie.
Yes, indeed,
it's pretty awesome. So that's our live reactions thing. I'm sorry we didn't do any more because, again, we don't want to be spoiled as well. If you guys want to see these in-depth reviews and stuff like that, just go back to Rotten Tomatoes, and you can go to full reviews for all these people. You get more in-depth at what these people are saying. So Josh, as usual, where can everybody find you?
Check out the Den of Nerds YouTube channel. Check out the Den of Nerds Facebook and the denofnerds.com. I'm always popping up on one of those platforms, majorly YouTube. If you like nerd stuff, go check it out over there.
Awesome. And as per usual, you can find me at Robert E. McDonald on both Twitter and Facebook. If you want to find Andrew, just go and, he's in a den somewhere, just locking himself up from everything.
But not the Den of Nerds. We wouldn't accept him. He was like, can I come hide in the Den of Nerds until The Last Jedi? I was like, no, get out of here.
Good on you. Yeah, he doesn't deserve it. He will see The Last Jedi, and I'm sure he'll enjoy it. But right now, he's not doing this stuff with us. And also, I've been plugging it recently. Stardust. Download the app. I'm right in the middle of my countdown to Christmas marathon, doing 25 Christmas movies over 25 days.
That's awesome.
And I'll you guys will get a peek under the behind the curtain for tonight. I'm doing Arthur Christmas. So there you go.
Oh, dude, somebody was just telling me about Arthur Christmas the other day.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie, and yeah, you guys check it out. Check out my reactions. I'm at Rob Mack there. So thank you as always for watching Flying Casual and tuning to Rebel Podcast. If you want to be one of our Patreon supporters, go to patreon.com or slash Rebel Scum Podcast there and join the room. Thanks, guys, as usual, for watching this, and may the force be with you.
Always.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.